We're headed to La La Land this time for the Clippers. And for a team, me and Firas thought very fondly of preseason, they haven't exactly lived up to the bill because this Clipper team is last in points per game. And that's despite PG-13 looking like Paul George, like playoff P. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Yes, Kawhi has missed time, but this was a team that was supposed to be the deepest in the league. You would have thought you could survive a couple games without Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, yeah. I think playoff P has become a good thing after he redeemed himself the last set of playoffs. So shouts out playoff P, non-sarcastically, you know? With that being said, though, right, don't sleep on the Clippers still. I don't want anybody at me like, oh, the Hoop Plug said. Nah, don't at me, son. Kawhi's out. You know, this team hasn't really had a chance to find its group quite yet. Did we all expect more? We did, but this is a tough, deep Western Conference. Without your number one guy, I mean, it's tough. And we thought Kawhi was going to come in indestructible this year with them Saquon calves and everything like that. But Kawhi Leonard is the only part-time NBA player in the history of the league. That is for sure after this season.
Yeah. And speaking of the man and the myth, the legend, he was just downgraded to out indefinitely. And I know they were managing that right knee. It looks like that's taken a step back, even though they're not using that words. There were no setbacks. We always knew this was going to be an up and down process. That's the words of Tyronn Lue. But he's only played in 2 games all of the season. Last game being October 23rd. So as much as depth is cool and we like talking about it, NBA teams are defined by their upper end talent. And without Kawhi, there ain't too much of it in Los Angeles. So obviously they're going to need Kawhi to get back healthy. That knee is starting to scare me because it appears to be a degenerative issue. Like you said, part-time player. It's been like that since San Antonio, and there really haven't been many exceptions.
Except for the 2019 playoffs. Really and truly.
Yeah.
And I believe he was fighting through injury at that time, right?
He was definitely fighting through it. He only played like 50 games in the regular season, so it's not like he was a spring chicken anyway. But I'm not worried yet. I'm definitely not worried yet. This is a team with a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I just think they need time. Time to get healthy, time to gel and define that pecking order, because after Paul George and his 20-something points per game, their second option and second leading scorer is Marcus Morris. And on a team with all these big names on it, that just sounds like mismanagement that he's getting all those shots. So whether that means John Wall just needs a couple more weeks to really feel like himself, Reggie Jackson finds it again, he's been struggling, or someone else steps up, I think, again, once they get time to gel, even if Kawhi isn't back, you'll start to see them hit a stride.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. We know that Marcus Morris he's going to speak up. You know how they say closed mouths don't get fed? So he's going to make sure he gets his. There's no way about that. You know, he knows when Kawhi's back, he's going to be reverted to third, maybe even fourth, maybe even fifth down in the scoring option. So he's trying to get his stats up while he can. And I blame the other guys for not being as assertive. You know what I mean? Say all that to say this, Mr. Roboto, Kawhi Leonard has showed us that he is human being after all with all these injuries. We just, wish him speedy recovery, and hopefully he can get some actual games in this time, because this team really needs him. This Clippers team is a championship contender with him, and unfortunately without him, it doesn't seem like that's the same case so far. So still, don't sleep on the Clippers. Do not at me, well, at me if you'd like, but not about the Clippers. You feel what I'm saying?